Hello everyone. Welcome back to AGS. In today's video, we will talk about Moon Mahadasha. This Mahadasha is of 10 years. And as you know, Moon is mainly responsible for your emotional well-being. Moon represents your mind. Moon represents a person's mental state. If we see as per the chart starting from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Lord of the fourth house. What does fourth house signify? It signifies your mother. It signifies motherland. It signifies peace at home. So moon is associated mainly with all of this. So during this 10 years, your focus will shift more towards you. It's going to be on your emotional well-being. It's going to be on your mental state. Growing more in terms of your emotions, recognizing your emotions, showing empathy, showing compassion. So that's going to be in general what you can expect out of this 10 years. Now we are going to talk about placement of moon in each and every individual houses. Let's start with the first house. First house, you guys know is an ascendant. Moon over here is going to give you a strong feeling of an emotional connection. So during this 10 years period, you might find a lot of times you have to go through emotional turmoils. One more thing, so moon over here is also going to make sure that emotions don't get the best out of you. Learning to control the good and the bad emotion, trying to overcome these. If this happens during your initial adulthood, there might be a lot of lessons that you might need to learn. There can be potential breakups. There can be breakups in partnerships. So moon over here is helping you understand how to let go of things. Moving on to second house. Second house, in the case of second house, the dasha, especially you get more connected to your family. If you are married, more connected with extended family as well. You want to talk to them. You want to discuss emotional issues with them. You want to get their opinions on multiple things. Moon in the second house can think of like how a mother wants to save for her kids. Just in that way, Moon over here wants to collect and save their assets. So Moon over here would like to, during this phase, like to collect more belongings. It can be investing in something, like it can be stocks, bonds, metals, real estate for the kids. Moon over here gives you an interest in arts. All of a sudden you start getting fond of arts. It again goes and relates with the point I mentioned before. You start getting into the habit of collecting something. It can be like arts. You can start getting fond of arts. You can pick up some other profession to generate extra income. Moon over here, and especially during this Mahadasha, gives you a calmness in speech. You gather emotions when you speak. People can sense those emotions. They can sense your feelings. You bring together all of your feelings and put together in your speech. So a person who might not be a great speaker before might eventually turn out to be a good speaker. Why? Because they are putting their emotions into that. People can now start relating with you. They develop interest in whatever you're trying to say. So this person gets more recognition eventually in their family and society. Moon over here aspects the 8th house. So during this time, they can start a joint venture with their spouse. They can start a joint venture with their in-laws. At the same time, these guys, they start getting interest in occult or mystic sciences. So that's moon for you in second. Moving on to third house. In the case of third house, communication becomes your primary focus. As in the case of second house, instead of speaking or trying to influence family members, now you start to influence the society. These people then try to do public speaking, try to influence the masses, try to influence the society, try to influence people, generate awareness. They also develop interest in writing. And when they write, they can write, say, some certain novels, poems. They write with their emotions in mind. They get success through these writings. They are able to communicate their ideas in a precise way. People start recognizing their work. For them during this time, they can go into a PR agency. They can go into a marketing job, ad salesman, because over here, naturally, you will be able to sell. You will be able to connect with the emotions of the people. Moon over here aspects the 9th house. So during this time, they will try to get emotional support from their father. It can be due to multiple reasons. Say mother is busy, mother is no more. So they'll try to find that emotional support from their father. They'll try to ask them the do's and don'ts. During this time, you might travel due to emotional reasons. Just like suppose you might have went through a bad phase. In Sun's Mahadasha, you were at the helm, you were at the top, and all of a sudden, towards the end of the Dasha, you are nowhere. Society doesn't respect you. So at the start of the Dasha, you try to find meaning of your life, the purpose of your life. So in a way, travel due to emotional reasons. Not only them, their mothers might also see traveling for a short span during the same period. Going on to fourth house. Fourth house represents your home, it represents your family, it represents your motherland. So if you are in abroad, if you are in some outside countries, if you are away from your homeland during this period, you might think about moving back to your home country, moving back to your home city. So just like it said, you develop a kind of homesickness. You want to spend more time with your mother. You want to spend more time with your childhood friends. You want to talk to them. You want to be emotionally connected with them. Moon over here, in the case of ladies, gives you a feeling of motherhood. So there definitely will be a tendency of, or urge, you might feel a strong urge of having a baby. Moon from here aspects the 10th house. You might start getting interest into government. You might start getting interest into politics. You might start of thinking a new business. You might think of starting a new business. So that's moon for you in 4th. Moving on to 5th house. 5th house, moon over here gives you creativity. These guys become very creative during this time, during this phase. It also gives you childlike feeling. So you get more curious about certain things. It gives you certain level of creativity, like thinking outside the box. In the case of women, it gives you feeling of, again, like having a kid. You want to be a mother during this time. Moon over here, it aspects the 11th house. You might start thinking of some new investments. You will start connecting with friends and social network more. And that's how you can brainstorm the ideas. You can get some new ideas. You start meeting with investors. So that's moon in the 5th house. Moving on to 6th house. 6th house, it generates or it creates a feeling of swaminess within you. You like to help others. You like to heal others. If this dasha depends again on the placement of the moon and how benefic or malefic it is. So you might think of taking nursing as a career. You might think of any profession where you can heal the other person. You want to help the community. You want to help the NGOs. Now, moon over here, it aspects your 12th house. So in this case, there would be a tendency to read more spiritual books, to understand spirituality, to understand all the age-old books. You want basically to be spiritually enlightened. So that's moon in the 6th house. 7th house. 7th house, here you will be more emotionally connected with your spouse. In case if you're not married, then and if you're running a business, you will be more connected with your business partner. You would like to be involved more, and that too at an emotional level. You, in this case, will also be self-conscious. Moon, because over here, aspects your 1st house. So you will also have focus on yourself, your personal well-being, your emotional well-being, your day-to-day activities. In this period, you would like to listen more and serve people. So that's moon for you in 7th. 8th house. In this case, for 8th house, you will find lots of ups and downs, emotional turmoil during this phase, during this period. People might not be able to understand you. One day you are good, one day all of a sudden you are bad. More often than not, it might happen during the full moon and new moon day. Your darkest and deepest desire will become alive. It can be either positive, it can be negative, depends on how you look at it. Mother's profession may change during this time. From the 8th house, Moon is now aspecting your 2nd house. And now you will start relating to your family in a different way. So you look at your family from a different lens. What lens? It all depends. So it depends on their placement, it depends on the sign of the moon, it depends if it has benefic, malefic aspects. So that would depend what lens you are going to wear. Your emotions would be more stronger and intense during this time. So you will have more stronger emotions. Just like, as an example, you're watching a movie, you are in a cinema theater, you're wearing the glasses, it's a 3D movie. The way you feel the effects, in a similar way, you're going to feel the emotions. It's going to be very strong. You're going to feel it. And that's something that the Shah wants to teach you, how to be able to control your emotions, how to overcome them. So that's Moon for you in the 8th. Moon in the 9th house is a Dharma house. So you would like to do more of a religious activities, more of a spiritual activities, I could say. So in that way, you become interested in dharma. It can be your own dharma, it can be other dharma also. You like to learn more about it. You would like to know more about the right and the wrong. Over here, during this time, you can also preach teachings. You can, whatever you have learned, you can share with your siblings. Because Moon over here aspects the 3rd house. So whatever and however you have grown in terms of your mind, body and soul, you like to share with your siblings. Moon in this time also indicates long distance travel. If you are an IT professional who is planning to go abroad and settle for good, this dasha might give you the opportunity to do so. During this time, since Moon aspects the 3rd house, you will also be able to connect with your friends, with your siblings. You might also undertake short writing. You might start your own blog based on the lessons you have learned. Moving on to Moon in the 10th house shifts your focus completely on your career. So now during this time, you're completely obsessed with your career. Your only intrinsic goal, your only intrinsic motivation is to focus on your career. All the dreams that you had so far in your life, your only job is to get them to be real. Opportunities related with moon. Example, moon like milk, water, sailing, nursing, serving people will come up during this time. Moon over here aspects your 4th house. So you'll start feeling more connected with your home. You'll start feeling more connected with your motherland. You'll start feeling more connected with your mother. You will, or you might try to get more involved in the local politics. You will start getting involved in the government. So it's a good placement for Moon is in the Kendra and aspecting its own house, 4th house. Moving on, Moon in the 11th. 11th house, is all about investment. It's all about your gains. So Moon here shifts your focus on the gains. Moon here shifts your focus on the investments. You start dealing more in the stocks, more in the real estate, more in the investments. Depending on the sign of the moon, how benefic or malefic it is, your wishes starts getting fulfilled during this time. You have to be cognizant about your associations, about the friends that you have. It will influence you in a good or a bad way. You will start having good relation with your elder sibling. You might find motherly comfort in your elder sibling. You'll have a recognition of in the society. You'll have a recognition, say if you are in the business, in your corporate settings, you will get recognized. This is a time wherein you can get quick promotions. Your sales will start going up. Moon over here aspects the fifth house. There will be a urgency or you will feel a urge of having a baby. Moon in the 12th. 12th house, is all about jail, asylum. It's all about Montessori. So moon over here, sometimes it gets creative. And during this time, these people like to stay isolated. They want to spend time on their own. They want to understand like some of the questions that they didn't have answers yet. So they like to focus, stay alone, and spend time on those activities. Moon over here likes to travel. Not only them, even in some cases I have seen their mother also travel. Moon over here again gives you an urge to connect with the pets, non-profit organizations, NGOs. It also aspects your sixth house. So you'll find like you have more thoughts of helping others, doing something that can heal those people. So that's all about Moon Mahadasha. And that's all for this video. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you do have any comments, enter it in the comment section below. That's all for now. See you next week with a new video. Thanks for joining me.